This officially changes everything for the Philadelphia 76ers after a grueling 2024-2025 season that was derailed by injuries and much disappointment that saw the Philadelphia 76ers completely miss the playoffs. There was weeks and perhaps even months of anxiety that this little tank job that they did over the second half of the season wouldn't result in them getting the draft pick due to the protections from the Oklahoma City Thunder trade where the Philadelphia 76ers unloaded Al Horford a few years ago. But after tonight's NBA draft lottery, the Philadelphia 76ers have officially claimed that top 6 pick in the upcoming 2025 NBA draft, falling to the number 3 overall pick. It was a jump from what their odds were going into the draft at number 5 overall, the 5th most likely team to get the number 1 pick. But just the main goal of the night, in my eyes, the basketball gods have cursed us one too many times. It was just to keep this damn top 6 pick, and the Philadelphia 76ers did that. It was an exhilarating ride, a thrilling ride for them to get there into the top 3. Had an outside chance still sitting there to get Cooper Flagg potentially in the number 1 overall pick. But the Dallas Mavericks, the NBA rigged, another conspiracy theory after the Luka Doncic trade. Now it looks like they're going to be handed Cooper Flagg. And then the San Antonio Spurs getting number 2 overall. Most likely going to be picking Dylan Harper. All eyes are kind of on Flagg and Harper at the 1-2. Then it kind of falls to the Sixers. I think the draft really starts there. Number 3 overall for the Sixers and who they pick, and they can go in a multitude of ways, but all eyes right now are linked to Ace Bailey, the freshman forward out of Rutgers, 6'8", 6'9" wing. We can dive into all this, we can debate all this, but for now, Sixers fans need to be excited. They need to be thrilled about just landing this pick because it gives you options, and at the end of the day, the options is what the key thing is. Do you look to trade the pick? Do you look to take a guy like Ace Bailey? Do you look to take a guy like Jeremiah Fears, Trey Johnson, VJ Edgecombe? Who do you really like and have your eyes on? The number 3 prospect on pretty much every board you look at is Ace Bailey, but sitting here and just having that pick, having that luxury of having that asset, gives the Sixers the ability to not only potentially get a player for the future, but also a guy that could help in the present. It gives you the options, and that's what matters most, and that was the most important kind of outcome of the night. Obviously, you were shooting for that number 1 pick and getting Cooper Flagg, but it's official. The Sixers will have a top 6 pick, and now they can look at it at a myriad of ways that we've kind of already touched on. And we're going to have it the next month to dive into these prospects and really talk about who's the best overall fit. We could talk about who the best overall talent is. People don't like Ace. People love Ace. He's a bit of a polarizing player. Who knows? Maybe even Dylan Harper could be there at number 3. Maybe he's not the San Antonio Spurs cup of tea right now with Stephon Castle and De'Aaron Fox in their backcourt as well. But when you look kind of going into the night at the Sixers' odds and their percentage of chances of these getting these picks, 10.5 to get the number 1 pick, 10.5 at number 2, 10.6 at number 3, which they ultimately land, 10.5 at number 4, 2.2 at number 5, and 19.6 at the number 6 overall pick. So they had about a 63% chance to keep their pick, and then they had about a 37% chance that they were going to have to convey that pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And as we know, they come away from the NBA draft here with this 3rd overall pick that they walked into the draft with a 10.6% chance of getting. So kind of what does that mean and where do we go from here now? As we said, all eyes right now are pretty much on Ace Bailey. If you go on Instagram or if you go on Twitter, people are already kind of photoshopping Ace Bailey into that. And I talked about it in a video just last week. He is, I wouldn't say an absolutely perfect fit for the Sixers in their roster right now because he's not a finished product, and if they are just trying to make this last-ditch effort for a championship in the Joel Embiid era, he might not be the best plug-and-play option, but if you were looking for that long-term wing prospect, that long-term guy to hopefully pair with Joel Embiid and hopefully pair with Jared McCain and Tyrese Maxey on the wing, you made that effort to kind of get Paul George, and I think he wasn't more of the long-term option, but you were hoping to get 3 to 4 strong years out of him and hopefully compete for a championship. But Ace Bailey could be that kind of long-term piece, and when, just before coming up to record this, you're watching the Knicks and the Celtics, that game's all about the wings. You look at OG Anunoby, you look at Mikal Bridges, how well they played in the first 2 games and leading the team to victory. Jason Tatum, up and down series so far, but one of the best wings in the NBA. Jaylen Brown, if you want to classify him as a guard or a wing, he's in that as well, in that mix, in that range. So this is a spot that the Sixers haven't had on their team forever, and even Paul George, and that signing last year looks like a bit of a swing and miss as of this moment. But Ace Bailey has that long-term potential to be that next kind of elite scoring wing at the NBA. I'm a huge fan of his talent. He has some, flaws in his game, but he's also a freshman. He's a young player, and he's going to have the opportunity to kind of grow and develop. So all eyes are on him. All eyes are linked to him right now. But as I said at the beginning of the video, just securing this pick gives you the option of potentially, trading the pick, drafting somebody else, moving down a couple spots if somebody does love Ace and you like one of these guards more. It's kind of pick your poison at that territory. But when you look at kind of the overall draft order after tonight, the Mavs, as we said, getting number one, getting the chance to redeem themselves from the Luka trade. Say what you want about that. NBA rigged their conspiracy. The Spurs up there at number two. That's going to be a very exciting group. Do they look to potentially move that pick and get a guy and use that in a trade for Giannis potentially? Sixers slide in there at three. The Hornets at four. The Jazz at five. You can read the rest of the list, but Jazz, Wizards, Pelicans, they go into this with the top three chances at the number one pick. The odds are the Hornets as well. I believe they all had the same odds going into it, and the Dallas Mavericks win the NBA draft lottery after having a 1.8% chance. So Mavericks fans everywhere are smiling, especially after the move that Nico made by trading away Luka Doncic, and now they have the opportunity to bring in Cooper Flagg, and all he talked about was, defense wins championships, and he's a firm believer in that, and Cooper Flagg is a great two-way player that's more, 99.9% chance that he'll be headed to Dallas. I think Dylan Harper, whether it's a Spurs picking at two or if they trade the pick and, potentially to the Bucks or in some regard, he's going to be the number two guy. I really think the Sixers are the team that starts the NBA draft and it kind of goes from there, because I do think those two prospects and Harper and Flagg will be 1-2 regardless of the team's picking. Sixers sitting there at three. Do they take Ace Bailey? Do they take Trey Johnson? Do they take VJ Edgecombe? Do they trade the pick? We're going to have multiple opportunities to discuss it, but just a live reaction of this all. This is a great opportunity for the Sixers, and the besides getting number one overall pick in Cooper Flagg, I think the best overall outcome was flat securing the pick and being able to get it in that top three as well. That's even better. I'm a big fan of Ace Bailey and his game. And as I said, we're going to be able to develop some more opinions and talk about some more of these guys. The Sixers also have the 37th overall pick, so they'll have at least two selections in this NBA draft coming up. And Daryl Morey talked about it. He needs to get younger. He needs to get more athletic, and this was a huge night for the franchise just being able to secure the pick. When you look at kind of the big board and some of the prospects here, the top 10 guys, we've talked about a bunch of these guys already, but according to Tankathon, these are the top 10 prospects for this 2025 NBA draft. As we said, Cooper Flagg, Dylan Harper, I would rule those two out now. I wouldn't expect them to be at the board at number three. Who knows? Maybe the Sixers even are head over heels in love with Dylan Harper and look to trade, move up, and give up some future assets. Maybe even give up a guy like Jared McCain if they really believe in Quentin Grimes and they want him and Dylan Harper and Tyrese Maxey as kind of your guards of the future. That could be in play as well. But you kind of look at this next group of guys from Ace Bailey on down. I think all these guys are going to be kind of in the mix for the Philadelphia 76ers, and we're going to have the opportunity to break them all down. And it's going to be an exciting next month. They're going to be certainly tied to a lot of these guys. Rumors, we're going to be able to talk about them coming into the Philadelphia 76ers facility, into the building, being able to work out, hearing rumors. We're going to have everything kind of covered over these next few months, but just a quick live reaction video to this. This is a huge thing for the Sixers. It changes everything after such a grueling season, just to be able to walk out of tonight having that draft pick. I'm not going to say made last season's failures and the terrible year that we had to go through as fans and as an organization as a whole made it worth it, but at least you're able to walk out of there and secure the pick. And shout out to Nick Nurse and Daryl Morey for kind of putting the tank on towards the end of the season. We saw a lot of young guys kind of develop and get better, whether it was Adem Bona, Quentin Grimes in his awesome stretch, Justin Edwards. You got to see a guy like Jared Butler and Lonnie Walker play. Some guys that you could potentially look at as rotation pieces for this upcoming year, and it also set you up to get one of these top draft picks. And the Sixers haven't been in this position, as we know. Even with their playoff shortcomings, they've been a 45 to 50 win team, and at least in the second round of the NBA playoffs in more years than not since the kind of process era officially ended. Tonight it felt kind of weird, but also a little bit like a blast to the past to get back into the lottery. But I think if you're a Sixers fan tonight, you're walking out of there with your head held high, with a smile on your face, and that the Sixers sit here with options here at number 3 overall. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As we said, Ace Bailey seems to be the main guy, the main target right now. I know a lot of you have been commenting as well that you want bigs. He's a forward. He's definitely a wing, and the potential to stay away from some of these guards. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Immediate reaction. If Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper go 1 and 2, who do you want at number 3 if the Sixers are there? Do you want them to pick Do you want them to trade down? Do you want them to trade the pick entirely for another player or as an asset in a bigger trade, a bigger deal down the line? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm excited that the Sixers got the pick, and we're going to be able to break out and break down videos on all these kind of transactions going forward and these workouts and these rumors. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. As always, please drop a like, subscribe, and we'll talk to you next time here on Sixers Digest.